Donc, la parole est à vous, Sizaïd, donc, pour nous expliquer plus de détails sur la façon et la manière de réussir et accéder à ce marché.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, so just to clarify, this webinar is going to be in English. طبعا كنهضروا العربية ولكن for the purpose of the event we're going to speak in English. I just want to make a quick introduction to everyone that's with us today and introduce our team members. So we have Hisham Bakali, who's with us based in Casablanca from our office.
Assalamu alaikum.
And behind the scenes, probably have Latifa and Aida and Ali and a few other team members. So yeah, I'm going to begin this webinar. And we actually have one of our team members who will be joining us shortly, and her name is Aya. Yeah, Lubna, you have a question, but you can ask, you can put your question on the, I see that you raise your hand. Do you want to ask your question? Lubna?
Je préfère qu'on laisse les questions donc, à la fin et on les prendra sur le chat pour répondre. D'accord? Merci.
Yeah. Okay, so just to introduce, I mean, of course, everybody knows who ASMEX is, but for the purpose of our call, Mustashar is a company that specializes in empowering Moroccan brands to thrive globally, and we're based in the UK. And we'll be talking more about us in this webinar. So just to give you a brief introduction, I'm the CEO and founder. Amy, who will be joining us.
I'm here, Zaid.
Yes, okay, excellent. So Amy, do you want to give us a quick intro, and you can take over actually? Say hello.
Yeah, sure. Hi, hello. Yeah, I'm the head of PR and marketing here at Mustashar. And have lots of experience working with food brands both in the UK but also transporting brands from other countries and territories into the UK, and that means supporting with brand profile as well as social media as well.
Excellent. And Hisham, who we've introduced, is our go-to-market expert in Morocco. Hisham, please introduce yourself.
Briefly. Yes, sure. Yeah, briefly. So I have 15 years of experience in several big brands, multinationals in FMCG actually in Morocco. So I've been working with Mustashar, with Zaid on this project for a long time now, and I'm thrilled to be here and to present to you our advantages, inshallah, to succeed in the UK markets.
Great. Okay. So we're going to go through our agenda just very briefly, so you all know what to expect on this webinar. So we're going to go through we've already made an intro on the speakers. We're going to go through the guidelines of this webinar. We're going to have a few quizzes, so we want to be a little bit engaging. We don't want this webinar to be, boring and just full of, conversation that's not engaging. We want to engage with you and give you meaningful information that you can benefit from. We want to explore the opportunities and discuss the objectives. Then we can talk more about who we are and more about the market, case studies, and then we can do a Q&A at the end. So first of all, just to go through, do you want to go through the guidelines, Amy?
Yeah, sure. So it's going to be a 1 hour recorded live session. You all know you're being recorded currently, and obviously we're streaming this live. It's going to be available in English, Arabic, and French. And obviously, I'm sure a lot of you would like a copy of this presentation. So please just type your email address in, and we can send it to you afterwards. Any comments as we move along, please just put those into the chat box, and we'll make sure they're addressed. And if you yourselves are also joining live, please do turn your camera on so we can see you and interact with you directly.
Excellent. Right. So
the objectives,
Go for it, Amy.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're going to cover, I think this is right, isn't it, Zaid, is we're going to look at, the opportunities within the UK, but obviously any opportunity comes with a challenge. Really looking at kind of how to master the mass market, that's mass market mastery, how best to localize your brand, very important point, and therefore how best to empower it. Also looking at the UK industry. I've got on mute. Also looking at UK industry secrets and strategies, consumer insights, some real success stories. So some examples of brands that we know have, flown, come over and managed to massively succeed into the UK and take a fair share of the market. And then obviously a live Q&A with our panel as well, with us three.
Yeah, so Amy, I know you're obviously very young and beautiful, but can you share with us how many years you've been in the industry for?
Yeah, so I've been working in the industry for over 25 years,
Okay.
and really in that time seen, a lot of change, but also the movement, obviously, of a lot of brands, coming, both from the UK to other territories, but also from other territories into the UK. And it's always an exciting process, but one that does require, an agile strategy, which I hope we're going to help you guys with today.
Yeah, but most importantly, Amy, is in this webinar, we want to talk about the secrets and strategies that we know that they might not be aware of. So we want to hear 25 years experience from your side, today.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
that will be peppered throughout.
Cool. Okay, so opportunities in the UK market. Talk to us, Amy. Tell us what does the landscape look like? I can obviously intervene as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, the FMCG sector is one of the largest in the UK economy. It's worth over 134 billion. That's a lot of money. And that surpasses aerospace and automotive combined. On average, funny enough, households spend £70 a week on food and drink. So that's a lot of money. And people are obviously, that shows people are willing to spend and want to spend. But the market is also growing. It's growing at a rate of about 2.9% as of 2023. And the projected market share is that it will increase to 12% by 2025, which is, a big leap, as I'm sure, you'll see. And the consumer essentially is, the UK is a diverse and multicultural society. As we all know, what is it? It's like no longer is our favourite dish fish and chips, it's chicken tandoori, isn't it? Which is kind of proof of our ethical tastes. And
isn't it chicken tagine? We need to make it chicken tagine.
Well, I think that's the aim of this webinar, isn't it, Zaid?
Good, nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we have a huge appreciation for authenticity. We all know that retailers have, the authentic aisles and so on, which need filling with exciting and, genuine goods. Therefore there's a big opening for international products and cuisine. Look at the restaurants in London even now, and across the UK, they are all diverse, they are all multi-ethnic. I think that is a case in point. Cooking shows are massive. More people are traveling, the COVID is over and people are moving again. And social media means that people can be increasingly experimental. But also the absolute joy of social media is that you can work to a global audience, can't you? No matter where you're posting from, you can have global appeal.
Yeah. So sorry, Amy, I know I'm directing this conversation towards you, but obviously as a British Moroccan, it may sound better for our viewers at times to hear some of this information from you because obviously you're British. What's your experience like as a consumer? So not as a Mustashar expert, as a consumer to anything Moroccan or any, with Morocco in general or anything Moroccan as a consumer?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all see that Moroccan tastes and influence are very present in our society, aren't they? We have a lot of, ingredients and cuisines, that, relating to Morocco available here in the UK. But I think the truth is that a lot of it has been white labeled and mass marketed by the big retailers. So what you tend to see is, yes, we have, Moroccan ingredients available to us, but they are not necessarily authentic. The true Moroccan ingredients, they're our version of it. So I think there is an appetite for it, but I think what is lacking is a genuine, authentic market share.
the present. And this is what we're screaming about. But yeah, we're not going to scream on this webinar. But
No, absolutely not.
This is what we want to, what the message that we want to deliver.
Yeah.
But also beyond FMCG, Amy, you know, there are so many other categories. I won't be surprised if some of the clothes that you're wearing right now is probably made in Morocco.
Yeah, could well be.
And there are other categories that we are also exploring, and we'd like, in partnership with ASMEX, to explore that, and that goes into loads of other categories in manufacturing, in obviously cosmetics is a big one also.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we all know the power of argan oil. You know, I mean, it's very trendy now, isn't it? All the big kind of, you know, skincare brands and so on often boast about, you know, having this magic ingredient, argan oil. And we all know that has a very rich story and a very rich cultural place in Moroccan heritage, you know, and that's a very, very important point. So absolutely, it doesn't just count for, food and drink brands. It goes right across the board.
Okay, so one of the things that we spoke about earlier on in the webinar was about the going beyond the ethnic market, and this is something that you might not be aware of, Amy, but our followers will. So generally, when exporters in Morocco export, they go for the lowest hanging fruit, which is the ethnic market, and we want to do a little quiz on this part of the webinar, and we'd like the viewers on the webinar, please, just to put your answers in the chat box, and let's just see how you know, how you can answer these questions. So the first one is, what share of the UK market do you think the ethnic distributors represent? So I'll leave I'll give a few seconds to see a few answers, if someone can put in their answer before I answer the actual question. No one? There's 54 participants.
It's looking quiet, isn't it?
Yeah. Hisham, do you want to answer?
You want me to answer the question?
Yeah, you can answer. Wait, we've got a few answers.
Do I guess or do I give the exact answer?
We've got, yeah, so we do have some answers. So
okay,
we've got Lotfi, who said more than 60%. So the ethnic distributors, 60%, that's massive. Dua said 34%. Hasna said 40%. Whoa, these are massive numbers. So the actual figure, just so we can move on, is 3%. So the 3% of the market, in the distribution market, consists of represents the ethnic market, and that's a big it's a big blow for us, because in Morocco we feel that the ethnic market is massive, but they're leaving out 97% of the market. So yeah, can you name some major UK retailers? So again, please, participants, just give me some retailers that you are aware of. I just want to know how much you do know, if you are aware. I know if I was to ask you supermarkets in France, everyone would be giving me answers. Tesco's, yep. Cieli said Tesco. That's a big one. Anyone else? There's definitely more than Tesco's. There's, I don't know if it goes into the hundreds, but there's so many supermarkets. Can anyone else give me any answers? Okay. Amy, just run by top of your head, major UK retail.
Well, we've got Waitrose, haven't we? We've got Tesco, we've got Sainsbury's, we've got Morrison's, we've got Lidl, we've got Aldi. They were definitely our top five. Asda, exactly, a lot.
And the list goes on. And they're probably all as big as each other, all in different categories. so moving on, how many Moroccan products can you find in a UK retailer? So I think we'll just answer these ourselves between us, Amy. And there's a reason why I'm answering this question. So the question is, how many products, if I go to any of these supermarkets that Amy has mentioned, how many Moroccan products do you think we'll find? Yeah, Lebhar Morrison's, we said Morrison's, thanks for that. Hisham, I know you already know the answer, Hisham.
I think less than 10, even 5. We're gonna be lucky.
Mzian. Okay. And how many of these products are made in Morocco? So let's do a little test. Okay. And let's see. There's I go to an online supermarket. So if you don't know who Ocado are owned by Marks and Spencer's, which are present now in Casablanca. So if we look at how busy Ocado is, Ocado receives 7 million unique visitors a month on their website. And if we compare that to the largest website in Morocco, just as a comparison, to give you an example, this is the busiest website in Morocco, e-commerce, 4 million. So Ocado is just a normal supermarket, online-based supermarket. And what I like to do here is I like to type in Turkish, actually. So Turkish gives us 3 products. And knowing that Turkey are a major exporter and the culture is a lot more embedded into the UK consumer or UK economy. So there's 3 results. So if I type in Moroccan, that's everything Moroccan, I get 37 products, 37 products. That's really impressive to me. Amy, what's your thoughts?
I agree. Well, I think to our earlier point, it shows that we are very interested in Morocco, and yeah, the influence, the food and cuisine influence has a strong bearing. And look, even here, products as well, skincare products, wellness products, etc. Yeah, has a strong bearing on our culture.
Yeah. So obviously we know that we're diving into FMCG, and not everyone on this call is FMCG related. But the point what we're making here is that the UK consumer is very receptive towards something Moroccan. So, and that's very fortunate for us. So if we were to say, this is at no comparison to other countries, we did say Turkey and that was a response. But if we were to say Tanzania or South Africa, we don't believe that the consumer would be as receptive towards Morocco. And many parts, there's many reasons for this. A lot of it is tourism. Morocco's doing a great job in tourism. I'd say the success that we had in the recent World Cup, made a huge difference to us as well, put us in the map. And of course, many other aspects, including culture and heritage and all these other things. The point is the UK consumer is very much familiar and receptive, is really willing to receive the Moroccan, anything Moroccan. And there's no limitation. And then the next question is, how many of these products are actually made in Morocco? And that's the interesting part. So we see all these 37 products. I can tell you that not a single one of them is actually Moroccan. When I say actually Moroccan, they're not made in Morocco or authentic Moroccan products. As we say, because you can see here Moroccan mint, all these brands, they might not even, if we were to taste the Moroccan mint, it probably wouldn't be, we wouldn't even consider it to be really Moroccan. So what's your take on this, Amy? What's the outcome of our observation here?
Well, I think it just shows exactly like we're saying that, we're very inspired. All these products are inspired by Morocco and there is an appetite and thirst for it. But what there is genuinely room for is authentic Moroccan produce. So an opportunity to, deliver a higher quality product than what is currently available, because inevitably what truly comes from Morocco and, authentic ingredients straight from Morocco will be of a higher quality than our anglicized version, which is shown here on the screen.
Yeah. Another thing is this brand, here called El Fez. So I've spoken to a few of our partners about this, but I want to highlight this to everyone on our webinar. This partner, El Fez, obviously they're talking about Medina Fez. This is where I'm from, actually. And they're selling Moroccan spice couscous. These are just ready-packed couscous products. And the founders or the company is nothing to do with Fez or Morocco. And actually, they're Middle Eastern. So recently, this company did a massive campaign all across London. And I'd love to show you, but it's going to take me a while to bring out. But basically, they had placards all over London, on the London buses, and they wrote, "Eat meatballs the Moroccan way." And I don't even think that advertising in tourism has been that blatant, or been that in your face to say to do something the Moroccan way. And that's a non-Moroccan company using a Moroccan name, city name, which I praise, by the way. I'm not against what they do. I love what they do, but it's like how much of a sign do we need as brands in Morocco to wake up to these massive opportunities? Because, like I said, they're not going to be as authentic as we are, and their story won't be as strong as ours. So yeah, for the sake of, I hope that message was clear. We're going to move on. We're going to start talking about Mustashar, just to give you an introduction about what we do. Brief. Our mission is to empower Moroccan brands in the UK market. We start off in the UK market. We also have presence in Europe, and we also have presence in USA. So we provide a fully integrated solution, and that includes everything from D2C sales, distribution and wholesale, logistics, transport, and everything that comes with running your business on the ground. Our vision is to drive positive change in the region and to help brands become a success globally. So بالدارجة احنا كنقولوا علاش لا مارك من على برا زعما من هنا ولا from the west كيدخلوا للسوق ديالنا في المغرب كيهرسوا السوق ديالنا، علاش لا مارك من المغرب ما يخرجش على برا ونهرسوا السوق ديالهم اللي هو هنا. And this is our mission. And actually, of course, there's a lot of patriotism behind it, and a lot of love and a lot of passion across everyone in our business. And this is our aim. So, we want to work on this journey with you. We're going to play a video, just a quick video, and it's going to give you a quick scope of our infrastructure for you to see behind the scenes. It's about a minute and a half. And then we'll be back to continue the webinar, the workshop.
Today we're here in Rugby, UK, in one of our warehouses and fulfillment centers. All our partner brands products we import from Morocco and the Middle East are stored and distributed here. Most companies focus on taking European brands to the Middle East, but we flip the script. We work with local brands in Morocco and the Middle East and bring them to the European market. We focus on this niche because we feel Moroccan and Middle Eastern brands are massively underrepresented here. We work with lifestyle and consumer brands across multiple sectors, including food and beverage, beauty and cosmetics, fashion, artisanal products, and many other categories. When we receive an online or wholesale order, the products are prepared and delivered to customers the very next day, using a fully automated system, saving time and improving consumer satisfaction. To maximize sales for our brand partners, we work with over 100 direct-to-consumer marketplaces and online sales channels, as well as a large network of distributors and wholesalers, covering both ends of the spectrum, ensuring our brand partners are present on all major sales channels. The technology we use in this warehouse allows us to fulfill up to 3,000 orders an hour, allowing us to cater to our growing base of partner brands. This infrastructure, coupled with our one-of-a-kind business model, allows us to take on multiple partnerships and scale. Our company, Mustashar, promotes products locally and helps brands attract new customers. We understand the local market. We also help brands improve their packaging to adapt to European markets. In short, we set the stage for Moroccan brands to compete with the biggest brands here. It's also important for brands to have local offices to manage their relationships with clients and stock. That's why we also use our offices to represent brands here without charging them extra fees. Here at Mustashar, we believe that business should be a win-win. We treat each brand like it's our own business and only make money when your products are sold. Contact us today to find out how we can help your brand enter new markets. Mustashar, taking your brand global.
Right. So we're going to hand over to Hisham.
Yeah, thank you, Zaid. So I'm gonna run through for you some of the challenges that some Moroccan brands might face when willing to export to UK. One of the first challenges actually is the language. Donc je vais parler en fait en français juste pour vous montrer qu'aujourd'hui Mustashar c'est une entreprise qui s'adapte aussi aux contraintes du marché marocain et des marques marocaines. On sait que tout le monde parle, enfin la majeure partie on va dire parle français, c'est la langue on va dire professionnelle dans le pays. L'anglais aussi est une langue qui commence à bien être utilisée, mais voilà, aujourd'hui notre objectif est de faciliter un peu les choses. Donc pour revenir to the first challenge, Zaid, donc le premier challenge qui peut être représenté, c'est un peu la pénétration, ou on va dire l'installation, avoir une présence locale. Donc aujourd'hui, on le sait tous, quand une marque s'exporte, elle cherche un distributeur, elle cherche un partenaire, mais en général, voilà, pour vraiment suivre un peu la progression des produits, on a besoin de se déplacer, on a besoin d'avoir des bureaux. Donc aujourd'hui, c'est un peu compliqué. Même en ayant un distributeur, c'est toujours compliqué d'avoir vraiment accès on va dire, aux zones de stockage ou avoir vraiment une présence avec ce distributeur-là. Donc, encore une fois, pour revenir à la langue, aujourd'hui, lorsqu'une marque veut s'exporter, elle aura du mal un petit peu à communiquer peut-être avec les consommateurs, tout ce qui est documentation, tout ce qui est labeling. Donc, la langue peut vraiment être un challenge important. Le troisième challenge, le third challenge, c'est la différence culturelle. Encore une fois, au Maroc, on est très imprégné de la culture française et on a l'impression que la culture française, c'est un peu la culture de toute l'Europe, ce qui est faux. Les Anglais ont leur propre culture, ont leurs propres habitudes, ont leurs propres attentes et expectations au niveau des marques et de on va dire, de leur tendance de consommation. Donc, cette différence de culture peut être aussi une barrière importante qui bloquerait ou qui crée des problèmes, on va dire, pour les marques marocaines qui s'exporteraient. Next would be donc tout ce qui est les stratégies de pénétration. Encore une fois, chercher des partenariats, chercher les bons partenariats, quels seraient les bons premiers clients, bien les bons premiers distributeurs. C'est toujours très challenging pour une marque, encore une fois, qui ne connaît pas forcément le marché anglais. On sait tous que les marques marocaines, ça fait maintenant plusieurs années, voire dizaines d'années qu'elles ont pénétré le marché français, mais le marché anglais reste vraiment, encore une fois, cette boîte noire. Et aujourd'hui, toutes les stratégies de pénétration peuvent représenter un réel challenge. After, bien sûr, donc nous avons toute la partie marketing et branding, comme je l'ai un peu expliqué, vu que la culture est différente, donc les attentes des consommateurs anglais sont complètement différentes en termes de couleur, en termes de design, en termes de brand identity. Et donc aujourd'hui, ça peut encore une fois, on a l'impression que le produit, il a bien marché en France, je vais le prendre tel quel avec le même packaging et je vais le mettre en Angleterre, ça marchera pareil. Non, malheureusement, ça ne marche pas comme ça. Et bien sûr, toute la partie pricing, etc. Un des maillons aussi importants à prendre en considération, c'est toute la partie logistique et distribution, donc toutes les subtilités de la supply chain, un peu tous les réseaux de distribution. Donc tout ça, c'est des choses qui peuvent créer des problèmes. Et qui dit distribution, dit customer service, bien sûr, suivi avec les clients, répondre à leurs besoins, problèmes de stock, etc. Et enfin, un des challenges les plus importants et pour lequel Mustashar a vraiment une solution vraiment bien tailor-made que je laisserai Zaid expliquer, c'est la partie online. Donc aujourd'hui, la partie online, c'est vraiment, encore une fois, quelque chose de très important. Le marché D2C, direct to consumer, est très développé en Angleterre et ça peut vraiment être game changer. Et donc, I switch to Zaid to explain to you what are our solutions towards all these challenges that I have shortlisted.
Yeah, but before we move on to the solution, I want to emphasize on this point, and I want to ask Amy a question. Amy, did you understand anything that Hisham said?
No, well, bits and bobs. I have Pidgin French, so
It's
a little
okay.
bit.
It's okay to say no because I didn't understand a thing. I didn't understand nothing, and the reason
I
why
was speaking about Moroccan cuisine actually.
Yes, no. The reason why I'm saying this, of course, Hisham is doing a very good job in addressing our audience in a language that they can understand, and the issue that we have is French and English is like a tomato and a cucumber. It's just two completely different directions. And the issue that we have in Morocco is, without going into any stereotype, but it's a very strong language and it's not just a language, it's also a mindset. But with us being British and doing business the Anglo-Saxon way, we have a very different way of doing business. Now, in order for Moroccan businesses or brands to enter the UK market, one of the first things they have to do is prepare themselves mentally, and the mindset needs to be right. It's not just about speaking English, because most Moroccans do speak English, but it's also the application of applying things, and things must be done the British way. So if I can put it in an example, it's like translating Botola to the Premier League. As an example, so in order for you to perform in the Premier League, you have to prepare yourself mentally to enter the Premier League. Currently in Morocco, we're quite fortunate that there's a massive transition between French and English, and this should also aid our mission. But generally, the point that we're making here is British doing things in the UK market, which is a far bigger, larger market than France is anyway, must be done the British way. And I guess that was the point. So let's now dive into our solutions and really see where the value is of this workshop. And the first thing I'd say, and this map here, I call this diagram. Oh, I'm not showing my screen, am I? Now I am. So this diagram that we're looking at, I call this diagram 18 years of experience. And this diagram is actually a very strategic, it's a strategy more than a diagram. And if we follow this strategy with any Moroccan brands that would like to enter the UK market, we have what we call a low-cost entry into the market. The first thing that we must emphasize on to succeed in any market. Sorry, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back. To emphasize on a very important point, to succeed in any market, you must be physically present. And if I compare that to the way that usually Moroccan brands work, they look for an exporter, they look for an importer or a partner, maybe in the USA or in Canada or in France or in Holland. And usually this person would be working in the ethnic market, and they will import their product and they will sell it to consumers that are already aware of the brand from the original country, which is Morocco. However, what we're talking about is a completely different ball game, or a completely different strategy. Our strategy here is how to enter the UK mass market, not to enter the UK ethnic market, because if you ask me, we didn't do nothing if we enter the ethnic market. We did not, there is no achievement. So going back to this strategy is focusing on how to enter the UK mass market. And the first thing that you need to do is to have a local presence, because there are many businesses based in Morocco, and they believe that they can maybe ship from Morocco, or maybe there will be an online e-commerce website, and they can put shipping, UK shipping or worldwide shipping, and assume that it's the same thing. But you cannot compare the two. The best example that I like to give is, for example, if I take my new iPhone and I want to sell it, and I go to Dirb Ghallif and I say to him, I want to sell my phone. He will say to me, جيبها لي عاد نعطيك ثمن, because فاش كنجيبها له كيكون فيها قيمة. هذيك القيمة, it's the same principle. So when products are here physically in the market, they automatically have more value, not just in terms of price, but in terms of qima, value. So the first thing we must do is to be a local player, and to become a local player, the stock must be local. Secondly, the best way is to penetrate the D2C market, which is the marketplace market, or what we call the D2C market, which is the direct to consumer market. This market is mainly on marketplaces. I gave you an example earlier on of Amazon being one of the biggest. But if we look at, just as an example, Amazon.co.uk, the traffic on last month in September dropped from October, was 350 million unique visitors. This is, this is just one example. There are so many other marketplaces in UK and Europe and USA. So one of the best things about marketplaces is it really gives you your brand exposure, and it gives your brand credibility. So for example, if I type in Sultan Tea, you can see that this SKU, Louisa Verbena, it has 44 5-star reviews, or 4.3, and that's very good. And this gives the product authenticity, and it gives it exposure, because it's this is exposed to the mass market, isn't it? So one of the best ways and strategies is to promote your brand. It's like they are doing promotion for us while being present on their platform, and it gives it authenticity. Another one, for example, if you're in cosmetics, is Sephora, and many other platforms. If you are in Sephora, or you're in John Lewis, or you're in Debenhams, or any of these large, well-known stores or marketplaces, it gives you exposure. The third is to set up your own D2C store. And your D2C store must not be, if we go to example of the work that we did with Sultan Tea, we have here, this is the direct-to-consumer store. And what this does is, it's our vitrine, our home. So here is where we collect our reviews, where we can be featured on different press releases, for example, on Vogue magazine. Here is where you can showcase all your products, and here is where you can do some good storytelling and talk about your brand, and really give not just consumers, but also businesses a real idea of how strong your brand really is. So this is the third step, which is D2C store, your own D2C store. Fourth is localized content. So if we take a normal, I'm going to give the example here of couscous. So Moroccan couscous, I just type this on Google and I go into images. If we look at just the images that Google gives us, this is not me giving you the images. Obviously, you can see a very normal way of how Moroccans consume couscous. But if I take away the word Moroccan and I just put couscous, you don't see a single, well, there's one here, but you get my point. The way that the couscous is consumed is very different. So this is why what we need to do, we need to localize the content. We don't need to use chefs like Shomisha, but we can use chefs that are equivalent to Shomisha or other, celebrities that are in the mass market. Amy, do you want to touch on that a little bit in terms of content? And
yeah, exactly. It's just like you rightly say, it's adapting the content to fit the UK market. And here in the UK, now chefs are, very multicultural and so on. Every restaurant now has, multi-ethnic menus, etc. And often, whatever restaurant you go to, it will often have, a Moroccan dish on the menu or whatever it might be. But it is an anglicized version of that, exactly. So it's kind of appealing to UK tastes, but using Moroccan ingredients and flavors to bring that to life. So essentially, it would be, using your products, but making them, acceptable to UK tastes and it's as simple as that.
And then the last step would be then move on to wholesale and distribution. So what Moroccan brands like to do is just jump into wholesale and distribution with no preparation, no foundation, no strategy, no awareness. But if we say, for example, Amy, you deal with a few buyers in supermarkets, and we show them a leading, it could be, let's say, home and garden, it could be textiles, it could be cosmetics, food and beverage, whatever, and I show you that brand, and you're a supermarket, why would you buy our products if your consumers don't know of our products? So it's very difficult. The point being here is very difficult for you to enter the wholesale and distribution market unless
without having the prior steps in place. Yeah.
Unless you're satisfied with the ethnic market, but the ethnic market it's old news. Everyone's looking beyond that now, and everyone's looking how to talk beyond that.
You need to build your brand to the UK market, exactly, and within the UK market. And whilst your brands might be extremely established and successful in Morocco, we need to transfer that success into the UK, but that means adapting the brand and making it, making it, applicable to UK consumers.
Absolutely. So next, we're going to talk about mastering the mass market and how to diversify yourself from going beyond the mass market. So we spoke about the tagine example that we gave in the pictures, where we said let's just take a look at some live examples, actually. And I like to give our website as an example. So if you see the way that we've presented the Sultan Tea site here, you can see that this packaging is something that is quite modern. It's used, recyclable material, which is what consumers look at nowadays. And if you take a look at the way we've even presented the photography, we've used the birred in the case of the authentic experience, which is the loose tea. But we've said, look, you can drink normal tea bags just in a normal mug. And, we've put a touch maybe of the jilij on the bottom to give that authenticity, because we'll never, we'll always, of course, stay true to our culture and tradition, but we must do it in a way that the consumer understands. And that's what's important. A very interesting fact, actually, is the most popular restaurants in the UK is Indian restaurants. It's the most popular restaurants in the UK. And a very interesting fact is 80% of these Indian owners or chefs are owned or run by people from Bangladesh. So they're not even Indian, but they're labeling their restaurant as Indian. So imagine if they were to put Bangladesh restaurant, what would be the effect? And I can tell you, they won't be as popular. So the point what I'm making is, it's very important to deliver to the consumer what they understand. When we first launched this product, we launched it as a mint tea, if you first thing you think about with Moroccan tea, from a consumer perspective, it's mint tea. Moroccan tea equals mint tea. And we realized that, hold on, there's a much bigger market that we're missing out on, and that's the wellness market. So every brand, every category has a different approach, and every business that you own would also have a different approach. I'm using this as an example of how we are adjusting the strategy according to our focus on achieving the mass market, and how to go beyond the ethnic market. Of course, we understand our market, and that's what we're here to do. It's also important to understand the cultural sensitivities here. So every culture, and we have different, not just understandings, but also applications and different methods. So it's very important to understand the culture to be able to deliver it in a way that will be accepted by that culture. The next is understanding consumer trends and insights. Amy?
Yeah, exactly. So just what people are looking for and trends. And I think to your point, Zaid, when with Sultan Tea, you were riding a wave, knowing that in the UK market, mint tea is very popular. We all enjoy mint tea. So you would launch your brand using that strand because that's what's going to resonate with your audience. And then once that's established, you move on to the next. So it's kind of understanding what people want and what people want to learn about and know about, and then building on that and making your brand relevant to that insight. And that's really important. Obviously, that's where the role of marketing and PR comes in, because it's about brand positioning. But essentially, it's all about relevance at the moment in any market, but especially in the UK market. It's all about why are you relevant, why now, and how are we going to make you relevant. So yes, it would be looking at all the products within your range, and looking to see what would be the best, how best to launch, what product is going to have the most media currency.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about the importance of localizing your brand. And for a second, we'll just flip the script. So now, obviously, for the purpose of this webinar, we're talking about from Morocco to the UK and how to successfully enter the UK market. Let's flip the script just for the purpose of being logic. And let's just take a very British product and expect it to launch in Morocco as it is, copy and paste. I know of a live case of a very successful cereal brand called Weetabix. Yeah, Amy, we all know Weetabix.
We all love Weetabix.
Yeah. So Weetabix is a very popular cereal brand here, and it's entered Morocco 3 years ago. And true story, they haven't been able to penetrate the market because they went in and they didn't localize their brand. And that's just the way the market goes, without going into too much detail. The same thing applies here. In a very simple and logical perspective, we must localize our brand while remaining and maintaining our authenticity. So if the brand is 80% Moroccan and 20% modern, okay, our aim when we work through on localizing your brand is to flip it to 80% modern and 20% Moroccan. And that's the strategy on positioning in the UK market. Empowering your brand, Amy?
Yeah, exactly. So you definitely need to empower your brand, and that can be achieved through leveraging, local expertise for market understanding and navigation. So really, this is exactly about ensuring cultural resonance. So understanding, the local values and preferences, and then making sure that your brand ties in with that and dovetails that. So yeah, again, it sort of comes back to the brand positioning point, doesn't it? The best way to empower your brand is to give it the best chance possible. And it'll only be given the best chance possible if you're completely aligned with the market you're entering. So you need to understand that market. And through doing that, you will succeed.
Yeah. Another part of empowering your brand is what we say in Morocco. We say, we call it the dir niya mindset. And the dir niya mindset, Amy, means to believe in yourself. And this is what we're here to do. We're here to empower who are we, the viewers on this webinar, and believing that they can achieve success in the UK market. And that's also part of empowering, in believing in that you can compete in the Premier League and in a league that is that you may be, just believe in yourself, you know. Just looking at one of our success stories, which we've already spoken about, there was one part I wanted to talk about when it comes to empowerment, and I'm going to give you an example on Amazon, actually. So there was an interesting brand that we, one of many brands, but one brand that we've been speaking to, in a very interesting, and this is very niche. So, you know, feel free to reach out to us, whatever category you work in, and we can tell you, we can explore it together. But if I just give you an example of essential oil. So essential oil, you know, there's nothing Moroccan about it. It's not like an original Moroccan product. It's not Moroccan tea or couscous or, you know, something that comes from Moroccan history. But there's a very interesting essential oil brand. And if we take a look at the category of essential oil, we look at the revenue that this category has on Amazon in the UK, if it loads. Okay, it doesn't want to load. Very strange. Okay. I tell you what the figures are, because I saw this before the before I run this test. It's basically, it shows us how much revenue, here we go, how much revenue that this category has and the opportunity, and this is on a monthly basis. So this keyword here, essential oil, there's 530,000 revenue in total. So if I was to look at this SKU alone, just one SKU, which costs £5 a month, and it's, you know, this whatever peppermint essential oil. This SKU alone, there's £160,000 a month in revenue, followed by another one which does 40, and then another one that does 25 and 22. So you're talking about opportunities alone on the D2C world. We haven't even opened up wholesale or your own website. And these are the kind of opportunities that we want you to enter and be present. We want to bring you closer to these markets. We want your stock to be physically here in the market. We want to work closer. I'm willing to open the floor to any of the participants that is willing to come online. Just send a message on the chat and just write down what category you're in, and I can bring you on the call. And then of course, if you've got any questions that you want to ask in terms of the UK market and how we can help, you know, how your brand could enter the UK market, we can discuss it live. And I can also do a search of the category. So I can look at, for example, argan oil, which is another massive one. And there's no limit here, by the way. So again, Moroccan oil is the leader, and they're not even Moroccan, authentic Moroccan. It's not made in Morocco anyway. Authentically made in Morocco, the company. So we can look at the volume here of argan oil. I don't know why the system's running slow today. Yeah, so if anyone wants to yeah, so here, another example, £340,000 in revenue. This is over 4 million dirhams a month. And again, if we organize it by revenue, the highest ranking one is 100 ml, £36 per bottle, and £34 per bottle. And it does in revenue, how much? £200,000 a month, just one SKU, you know, and then you've got this L'Oreal one, and then you've got this third party, and a few other third party ones that are doing extremely good volumes. So again, these kind of opportunities are open for all of you to enter and to be a part of. So again, if anyone wants to, you know, you don't need to come on the camera. You can just send a message in the group and I can do a search for you live for you to see the category and the volume. And this is just one channel. This is just on Amazon. Just drop a message in the in the chat. So working with us, again, as I said, we cover all these areas. And we've just done a comparison because if you know, our model, we like to call it, is very unique and innovative and doesn't exist. So we cover all these areas in under one partner, as opposed to, you know, going and working with different partners or 5 different partners. Amy, do you want to go through some key takeaways before we move on to Q&A?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that exactly now is a prime time to be launching, you know, your brand into the UK market, because from everything we've shown, there is an appetite and a thirst for it. You know, you can definitely transform and adapt your brand also to the market without having to spend, you know, a lot of money. You know, it is perfectly possible, yeah, to do that on a, you know, on a reasonable budget. And any challenges, you know, Mustashar can help support you on those and help ensure that you have the right approach and the right strategies in place, you know, through our expertise and experience. You know, we can make that road very smooth for you. And essentially, we're all here very well placed, you know, with Zaid's experience and my experience and Mustashar's experience overall. You know, there's a combined expert team, yeah, who can very much help bring you to the UK market and take you where you need and want to be.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that, Amy. We're going to end on a Q&A session. So we've got loads of questions coming in, and feel free to carry on asking the questions, by the way. Don't be shy. So in terms of fresh fruit and berries, because we've got a lot of participants actually that are in the wholesale game in terms of fresh fruit and berries. So fresh fruit and berries is this webinar is more focusing around the brand made in Morocco. For example, if we look at sardines, anchovies as well, most of the brands, actually all the brands that are in the UK, there's a large percent of a very high percent of UK imports of sardines coming from Morocco. And all the brands in the market are all white label brands. Again, there's no Moroccan brand in the market. We're asking for some brands to enter the market with us because we can help those brands enter. Similarly to fresh fruit and vegetables, the fresh fruit and vegetable market, it's very much based around almost like a commodity. It's just it's just a fruit, isn't it? So orange fruits and vegetables. We do have relationships with supermarkets and we do work on them, but the purpose of this and of course you can send an email to us and we can discuss it. But for the purpose of this webinar is about empowering your brand, because we want your brand to have brand equity and to build your brand equity in markets, in very competitive markets like the UK. And that involves strategy. So it's not, you know, a case of just containers and sending one shot, you know, orders. So I hope for all the questions related to the fresh berries and anything related to citrus, that answers your question. However,
I think just on berries and citrus, I think the main thing to point out as well is that obviously, you know, in the UK, we have a very challenging climate. And so we cannot supply, you know, whilst we like to champion British ingredients and so on, and we actually do work with businesses like British blueberries, British strawberries, etc. These are very seasonal items that are only available in the UK for a very short period of time. So I think where there's an opportunity for you guys in terms of berries and citrus, specifically to that point, is to offer, you know, the UK consumer the opportunity to enjoy high-grade lemons, high-grade oranges, high-grade berries, whatever it might be, but throughout the year. And that is what retailers and supermarkets want. And obviously, you know, there is a big market there because, you know, whilst we are a self-sufficient you know, in terms of our ingredients here in the UK, we don't make nearly enough to feed our 80 million strong nation. And we need it, you know, we need it all year round. So I think it's kind of defining those gaps in the market, you know, which will then pave the way for opportunity for you.
Yes. So yeah, in regards to, just to summarize on fruit and veg, there's a massive opportunity because tomatoes is increasing the demand, and fruit and veg are, you know, there's issues around the world with oranges as well. Prices have been going up, and in Morocco we've regulated the price. Olive oil is a massive category as well. I know the government have put a temporary hold on exports, but that doesn't include extra virgin olive oil. So there's a massive, you know, demand that we will be working on fulfilling for olive oil. So to summarize on the fresh fruit and veg, reach out to us because we do want to work with you. And eventually we'd like you to have your own office here with your own brand, your own branded oranges or your own branded fruit, not just white label, but we're here to explore both opportunities. So I hope that answers the question there. I have a question from Miriam, and she's asking, how can a Moroccan curly hair brand enter the UK market, the procedure, and is it a good target for UK market? Curly hairs, I will answer it. I could answer it, but just to get your opinion, Amy.
Yeah, because, well, I know I've got two of my great friends have curly hair, which they struggle with every day. Very hard to find a good product. So yes, there's definitely a market for that. Yeah.
Again, the point I want to re-emphasize on this webinar is everything goes. There's no limitation in terms of what could work. So the question shouldn't be, would it work? You know, is the UK a good market? We're telling you the UK is the largest market in Europe in revenue, in size, in revenue, in chiffre d'affaires. The whole country is the strongest and largest consumer market in Europe. So it's definitely one that you should be prioritizing, not just considering. In terms of how to enter, of course, we'd love to look at your brand, no matter how big or small your brand is. We'd love to look at it and explore the opportunity closer together. But we can tell you, we would, of course, look at your brand and understand your strengths and weaknesses. We'd put together a business plan to benchmark against the competitors in the market and how the best performers are working. We'd identify low-hanging fruits on marketplaces, and we put a strategy together for marketing, for advertising. We'd import your products into the country so that your products are physically here. We'd work with all of our network and relationships in cosmetics in the case of curly hair. So that includes the likes of, I'm going to share my screen here again. That includes the likes of Look Fantastic, All Beauty. Yeah, these are all massive, really big players that only include big brands, but we're partners of theirs, so we can definitely help you get your products on there if they meet the criteria. Yeah, so we have to work on helping that brand meet the criteria. As you can see, there's only big brands on this site. Look Fantastic, Sephora, and other ones. So yeah, I guess that is how we can help. Is it worth it? 100%, you know. Another one came in for school bags and business bags. You know, every market, you know, the market is so big. All I have to, just to show you, this is at a very top level, is I type in school bag, just to give you an example. Okay, is there a market for school bags in the UK? I don't even need to give you a sophisticated business plan or study. And we can see here the revenue for school bags as an example. I don't know, every day this is very fast, but today it wants to work slow. I'm going to wait for it to load and move on to the next question. Yeah, it's not loading.
I think the packaging question is interesting, Zaid, if you want to look at that one.
I don't want to miss out on the school bag one. I'm going to come back to the school bag. I'm just waiting for it to load. Okay. Whoa. So these categories really surprise me. So £845,000. And if we organize this by revenue, so if you are in the manufacturing of bags, and you believe, and we give you, we study the market and tell you this is what's trending. It needs to have this pocket. It needs to be, you know, this is what we talk about when it comes to data. It needs to be adjustable here. It needs to be breathable here. This is the opportunity. The opportunity is £200,000 a month on one SKU. Don't get me wrong, it takes a while to build to get to that. These have 86, this one's 77, 43, you know, and Amazon's a big one for us. And we're a major Amazon partner. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Packaging, to which degree can the packaging be different than the European market? Is there any differences? So I need you to give me a little bit more information on your question, but if I was to try to assume what you mean, the UK market is similar to the European market, but it's also different. So it's also like America. When we go through the transition of moving from the UK, and we've succeeded in the UK market, and we move to the American market, we have to Americanize your brand. That's the term that we use. We have to Americanize it. And Americanizing, although they both speak English, there's still some things that need to be different to help adapt to the US market. So to which degree can the packaging be different? I don't know, if I was to give you a percentage, it's close, but I would say it might need to be 20-30% different to the UK, in terms of design and image. In terms of compliance and regulation, the UK compliance law is different to the European law. Obviously, due to Brexit, we're separated from the European Union now, so we have to follow different laws. So we take care of that in terms of compliance. We have our own internal compliance person in the team, and we'll give you a report of what needs to be changed, and then you can go away and change it.
This one is in French. Zaid, let me translate it really quick.
Yes.
They're asking about تعاونيات, the cooperative. As you know, in Morocco, there's a lot of تعاونيات, so little, farmers or people that are doing all the traditional, products in Morocco, and they find difficulty to engage with the exports or with the distributors abroad. So how can Mustashar help these guys to get their products and to go beyond all the business limitations that they have?
Okay, so this actually this actually moves me as a business owner, and it's I've been wanting to work on this with Ma'atawniyat since we started our mission, because we want to give everyone equal opportunity. It's not fair that the big brands that have been established for 20 or 30 years that turn over million have the capabilities to enter the market. We want to make it equal opportunity all the way to Ta'awniyat. And I'm not allowed to say much at this stage, but we are working with a government body in Morocco, one of the ministries, on collecting, especially after the earthquake tragedy, on collecting, on working on a campaign that will include Ta'awniyat, and it will be in partnership with the government. Sorry, not in partnership, but under the jurisdiction of the government. So we're working on a project at the moment. So if you could just share your details with us, or send us an email. I'll share the slide with email addresses at the end that you can take from our team members. And then we can reach out to you as soon as this happens. But this for me is something that we'd love to work on. And it will be as equally as important as making Sultan Tea the #1 tea brand in the world. Yeah. Is that okay? Hisham, did that answer the question?
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
Okay, great. Luxurious chocolate, 100%. Like I said, there's no limitations. Every brand needs to be considered according to shelf life, according to transportation, storage, refrigerated storage. We're even looking at paint, we're looking at doors. The idea is that it's the Made in Morocco label. So you guys are very fortunate to have the support of ASMEX. ASMEX have given you the opportunity to apply for the Primo Exportator funding, which applies across most categories, I believe. So, if you fall under that category, then for us, we can look at working with you. Does anyone else have any questions? Please feel free to ask them, because we're here to answer your question.
I have a small addition there to the question related to the packaging, because I think I see what would be the challenge, or what would be the concern of Moroccan brands. So they have a catalog, let's say 20 SKUs or more, and I think they're afraid to have to work on all the packagings to be able to be present in the UK. It's not actually the case to change all the packagings. In fact, for instance, if you have like Arabic or something, yeah, we need to remove that, because we are not focusing, as we say, on the ethnic market, but we are trying to sell to the whole British market. So the packaging needs to speak, the Western language. But if you have a brand that looks already modern, even if it, as Zaid said, it has like a 10% Moroccan touch or 10% identity, we keep this identity, and we can if we see that it can be sold as it is in the UK market, of course, after we look after the regulation, all the stuff that needs to be looked after, so it can be sold, automatically. So we don't change the whole catalog.
Great. Yes. And we also take it in stages. We don't go into the markets. It's not a race. We are not racing. It could take 9 months, 1 year, 1.5 years before we see a break-even point of the investment required that we make on your brand. So it's not something that we can achieve straight away. And this is logic in any new market. Well, in us as experts, we have كنقتصدوا الطريق ولكن بطريقة فنية. ياك طريقة فنية.
Yes.
And in steps, definitely.
Yeah. So someone is also asking about the products from the sea, les produits périssables, products that have low life, or how to say,
fresh produce.
Yeah,
that,
fresh products, exactly.
Perishable.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
so give me, in terms of what product, I know fresh produce, but the category is big. So when you say fresh produce, what are you talking about?
Fish, oysters, so all that is related to les fruits de mer.
Fruits of the sea.
Fruits.
Yeah, Amy, do you want to touch on the demand in on fresh produce?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think, like you say, Zaid, at the end of the day, everything is applicable, isn't it? Everything is relevant. There is definitely a market for this. And I think it probably comes back to the point about strategy, providing providing product can be here in the UK, and there's an efficient, transport, import process whereby we can get the fish fresh. On a daily basis and so on, the product line is efficient, then yes, there is an opportunity there as well. But sea fish and seafood is a massive market here in the UK, a huge market, and there's a big appetite for it. So I would definitely say that would appeal, providing the logistics can be supported.
Thank you, Amy. Hind, would you like to conclude with any information from your side? Hind?
On vous remercie avec l'équipe qui a animé ce webinaire et qui a donné plus de détails, je pense, aux spectateurs et aux spectatrices. Donc, un avant-goût sur la manière d'approcher le marché UK et comment promouvoir leur marque, parce qu'ils ont en face, je pense, un expert qui va le prendre en charge et essayer de suivre une stratégie de bout en bout pour essayer de mettre les produits sur les rails et sur le marché UK. Donc, on vous remercie et on remercie tous les participants d'être présents. Et si vous avez des questions ou si vous avez besoin de quoi que ce soit ou un contact avec Mustashar, donc n'hésitez pas à nous contacter ici à l'ASMEX, nous ferons le relais, ou de contacter Mustashar directement pour toutes vos requêtes. Voilà, merci.
And just to clarify, we're going to email everyone a link to the recording of the webinar. And of course, if you'd like to reach out to us to have just a soft call and to explore opportunities and to understand, to dive into more detail about your brand and understand the potential and to see how we can help you with ASMEX, then of course we can discuss it in detail. مرحبا بكم كاملين. If you are ever in London, we'd love to host you in our office, and to as we say, darkum. So thank you very much, everyone, and we'll connect soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zaid. Thank you, guys. Nice to see
you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Zaid, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for reaching. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.